Commons are the most neglected spaces. In India, the ecological commons constitute something like 25% of land mass. That's some 200 million acres of land, bigger than Kenya, the geographical Kenya. That's the kind of a land which is suffering because of the attention neglect in policy spaces, in purposeful investment spaces. But if they're focused and see that these lands have the tenure in the name of the local village, people invest their energies, invest their futures in safeguarding it. In the absence of the tenure or the attention, they would tend to get neglected more and more, and the land use would change to suboptimal purposes. That is the whole piece on commons as such, the ecological commons. But if you see, the whole underpinnings of commons is the self-regulatory aspect of it. Yeah, Eleanor Ostrom, when she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009, it was for the economic governance part. Though she was a political scientist, it was purely on the economic governance, that we don't have to rely on excessive government control or total privatization of individual. There are several spaces in which is the bedrock on which human society survives, democracies survive. So you have these village republics in ecological common, but you can have this for managing your apartments, your welfare associations in a housing society. Those are also commons. Your municipalities are commons in a way that it's not government or it's not individuals, it is the collective spaces. That is primarily or fundamentally important for entire democratic functioning, be it schooling or education or health functioning. So that's the power and potential of commons, which we feel needs to be emphasized, brought to surface, and the story told over and over again, because in this mad rush, we are eroding what is otherwise commonly held.
I think commons are the only space where we have it's a platform where you can work on ecological restoration, on economic improvement of poor, and is a platform for social justice, because it's the poor people who have large access and depend on those resources for their livelihoods. We wanted to bring out this report to show how communities across the country have been managing their commons, and to create an awareness so that people understand the different types of commons and different governance regime that exists, the judicial promulgations that are there regarding this, regarding commons, and why Gram Sabhas and village communities across locations should protect and conserve these commons. It is also to bring in an awareness within the larger policy making communities to understand that these are not wastelands, but it is these lands are areas where people use it for their livelihoods and for their sustenance. I think valuation of this commons is only a means to explain to different people why these lands are valuable. The valuation is actually done to understand the ecological services that these lands or these resources provide, but it is more of a tool actually to engage with different stakeholders to say these lands are valuable.
At a personal level, I would not give too much of value to it in the ecological, economic valuation of ecosystems. Yet, it's a necessary question that public policy people ask. So you need to put that paper on the ground, yeah, and to say this is the value you're talking about, and then move on to so how do we safeguard it. It's very, very necessary, but it's not sufficient for the whole dialogue.
I think one of the main things that here is not necessarily about not understanding commons, but also not being able to connect many languages of the commons with the word commons. So actually, most people, and especially people who are dependent on the commons, or who have conceptually understood commons, or are, whether it's in urban areas or rural areas, or understand it as knowledge commons, or people who understand collective action, they do understand the idea of commons and commoning. It may be different languages, different idioms, different ways of visualizing it. You may call it Porambok, you may call it Shamlat, you may call it something else. I think we need to see commons more as an approach and philosophy, and it's not just the physical commons. It's how you approach the world. It's a worldview in many ways, and I think more and more when the world is getting individualistic, there is less and less belief in the idea of collective action, more distance from each other, so from human to human or human to nature, and all of it. And that's why I think it's important more and more to reiterate that there is value of coming together. There's value to actually doing collective action, no matter how difficult it is in the short run. The gains can be very, very visible in the long run.